Hello everyone. How do you feel now? I'm feel good. Yeah, I because the weather today is very comfortable. Yeah, this my homework. Day of the Dead mini story. Day of the Dead mini story. Yeah, let's start. I arrived in Guatemala on the Day of the Dead, November 1st. Oh, yeah. Did I arrive in Guatemala? Yes, I arrived in Guatemala. Yes. When did I arrive? Um, November 1st. I arrived in Guatemala on the de- on the on the day of the dead, November 1st. Who arrived in Guatemala on the day of the dead, November 1st? Wow, me, AJ Hope. I arrived in Guatemala on the day of the dead, November 1st. Did I arrive in Guatemala on the day of the dead, November 1st? No, no, no. No, I didn't arrive in Guatemala on the day of the dead, November 3rd. 3rd. I arrived in Guatemala on the day of the dead, November 1st. Yeah, November 1st, not November 3rd. What day did I arrive in Guatemala? On November 1st. I arrived in Guatemala on the day of the dead. Yeah. What did I arrive in on November 1st? What what did I arrive on November 1st? Guatemala. Guatemala. I arrived in Guatemala on November 1st. I was curious about this holiday, so I went to the cemetery to see what was happening. Oh, were I angry about this holiday? No, no, not angry. I wasn't angry about this holiday. I was curious about this holiday. Where I start about this holiday? No, I was sad about this holiday. I was curious about this holiday. Who were curious about this holiday? Oh, me, Isaac. I were curious about this holiday. Uh, what were I curious about? Oh, I curious about that this holiday. This holiday. Yeah. Which holiday were I curious about? Yeah. The Day of the Dead. The day, the Day of the Dead. I were curious about the Day of the Dead. Yeah. Were I curious about the Day of the Dead, or were I curious about Christmas? Oh, I curious about the holiday, the Day of the Dead. Where did I go? I went to the cemetery. Cemetery. Yeah. Did I go the cemetery, or did I go the airport? No, yeah. I went to the cemetery, not airport. Yeah, cemetery. Right? Who went to the cemetery? Me. I say I went to the cemetery. Where did I go? I went to the cemetery. The cemetery. Yeah. When did I go cemetery? Oh, on November 1st. Yeah, November 1st. I went to the cemetery. Cemetery. Why did I go the cemetery? Because I wanted to see what 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 was happening. Yeah, what was happening. who went to who went to the cemetery to see what was happening. Who? Yeah, me. I say I went to the cemetery to see what was happening. Where was the cemetery? Oh, in Guatemala. In Guatemala. Yeah, okay, Guatemala. What is the day of the dead? Oh yeah, the day of the dead is the holiday. The day of the dead is the holiday. The holiday. Yeah. When 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 is the day of the dead? When the day of the dead? November 1st. Yeah, November 1st. I went I went to the cemetery to see what was happening. I found it quite interesting. I went to the cemetery to see what was happening. I found it quite interesting. Oh wow. Was it boring? No, no, I wasn't boring. It was quite interesting. Yeah. How did I feel about cemetery? I feel quite interesting. I was interesting. I felt quite interesting. Was it boring or was it interesting? It was interesting. What were interesting? The cemetery was quite interesting. Where? When was cemetery interesting? Um, on November 1st. Yeah, it was interesting on the day of the dead, November 1st. The atmosphere in cemetery was like a party. Wow, was the atmosphere very sad? No, no, no. The atmosphere wasn't sad. It was like a party. It was very happy. Yeah. Was the atmosphere sad or happy? The atmosphere was happy. It's like a party. Yeah, it's like a party. What was like a party? The atmosphere in the cemetery, the the atmosphere was like a party. The atmosphere was like a party. The atmosphere like a party. Was like a party. Was like a party. Party. Where was the atmosphere like a party? Party. In cemetery, the atmosphere like a party in the cemetery. Yeah, cemetery. Was the atmosphere like a party at my house? No, 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 not at my house. The atmosphere was like a party in the cemetery. There were people everywhere. Families were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. 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 Oh, oh, yeah. Where were families sitting? Or around the graves. Family were sitting around the graves. Who were sitting around the graves? Families. The families were sitting around the graves. Were they sitting around the trees? No, they wasn't sitting around the trees. They were sitting around the graves. Where were they sitting? Around the graves. Where were they sitting around the graves? Um, where were they sitting? Around the graves. Around graves of their dead ancestors. Ancestors. Families are sitting around the graves. of their dead ancestors? Were they sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors? Yes, they were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. Were they sitting around the graves of their dead friends? No, no, not friends. They were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. Who were sitting around the graves? The family. The families were sitting around the graves. Whose whose grave were they sitting around? Mm, their dead ancestors, their ancestor of graves. Were they sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors, or the graves of their friends? They were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. They cleaned their graves and added fresh flowers. Who cleaned their graves? The families cleaned the graves. What did they add? They added fresh flowers. Did they add food? No, no, they don't add food. Did they add food? They added fresh flowers. Did they add money? No, they didn't add money. What did they clean? They cleaned their graves. Who graves did they clean? The 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 ancestors. They cleaned their ancestors of graves. Where did they add flowers? The graves of their ancestors. Yeah. I walked through the cemetery and I admired the beauty of all the colorful flowers. Oh, where did I walk through through where did I walk through? Hmm. Where did I walk through? The cemetery. The cemetery. I walked through the cemetery. Cemetery. I walked through the cemetery. Cemetery. Yeah, cemetery. Did I walk through the park? Park. No, no, I didn't walk through the park. I walked through the cemetery. Cemetery. I walk. Who walked through the cemetery? Me, I say. I walked through the cemetery. The cemetery. Did I walk through the cemetery? Cemetery. Did I walk? Did I walk through the cemetery? Did I walk through the? I wa- did I walk through the cemetery, or did I walk through the park? I walked through the cemetery. The cemetery. And I admired the beauty of all the colorful flowers. Oh wow, colorful flowers. Wow. Wow. Did I admire the beauty of the trees? No, no. I didn't admire the beauty of trees. I admired the beauty of all colorful flowers. Did I admire the beauty of the children? No, I didn't admire the beauty of children. I I admire I admire the beauty of all all colorful flowers. Yeah. What did I admire? Admire. What did I admire? Flowers, the beauty of all the colorful flowers. Who admire? Who admire the beauty of all the colorful flowers? Me, actually, I admire the beauty of all the colorful flowers. Where were the flowers on the graves in the cemetery? Cemetery. Where were the flowers in the park? No, they wasn't in the park. Mm, they were in the cemetery. Yeah, cemetery. Where did I walk through the cemetery? Oh, when did I walk through the cemetery? November 1st, the day of the dead. The, the day of the dead. I walked through the cemetery November 1st. Yeah, on November 1st. There were color in the sky because many kids were flying kites. Oh, where was the color? In the sky, in the sky. Why there were color in the sky? Because kids were flying kites. Who were flying in the sky? Kids, the children are flying kites in the sky. Was the sky colorful or was the sky gray? The sky were colorful. What were colorful? The sky was colorful. The sky was colorful. What were the kids flying? Oh, kites. The kids flying kites. Where were they flying kites? In cemetery. In the cemetery, they flying kites. Who were flying kites in the cemetery? Kids, children. Many kids were flying kites in the cemetery. This homework, the day of the dead, part 1. Yeah, the end. Thank you for listening.